Good morning and welcome as we celebrate Manufacturing Month here at Carl Sandburg College. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for their time, taking time out of your day to join us as we celebrate the manufacturing industry as a whole in our region and in the state of Illinois, as well as the training efforts of the college and the contribution our students will make to the industry, because you are truly the future pipeline of technicians for the welding and manufacturing industry and will contribute to the longevity of the industry as well as the sustainability of our communities. With that, I really appreciate everyone being here today. I would like to thank our students for joining us, as well as others in the group. We have folks from industry represented, Mr. Happenstall from the WIOA office. We also have our Board of Trustees representatives, Mr. Robinson and Ms. Pacheco, as well as our student trustees. So thank you, Ms. Wilborn, for coming. We also have representatives from industry with S.J. Smith and with Innovative Production USA, Mr. Zimmerman here. Appreciate the support from the secondary level as well with Mr. Houston from GAVC, as well as Mr. Springer with the Knox County Area Partnership for Economic Development, and some other special guests in the audience today. We have Sarah Hartwig, the VP of Education and Workforce Policy with the Illinois Manufacturers Association, as well as Adrian Medunik with the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. So really appreciate everyone being here, supporting our programs, supporting our students, and taking time out of your day as we celebrate everything our students and the college do to help support the manufacturing industry. And so with that, I am going to hand things over to Dr. Riley, President of Carl Sandburg College.
Well, good morning and good afternoon. Is it afternoon now? I want to thank everybody for being here, echo the welcomes that Ellen just gave. Ellen Burns, our Dean of Career Technical Education. I want to give a special mention and thank our Board of Trustees members, Mr. Robinson and Ms. Pacheco, and also acknowledge our student trustee. Thank you very much for being here. And also want to acknowledge our Vice President for Academic Services, Carrie Hawkinson, who is down the back of the room, and thank her. And a special thank you to you students who I know were really not anxious to take a break and eat lunch and sit down, but thank you for doing so. A special welcome also to Pam Gaither from the Chamber of Commerce. Carl Sandburg works in partnership collaboratively with everybody in our region. We are a large region of 10 counties in West Central Illinois. Manufacturing remains one of the most crucial aspects of our economic development in the state of Illinois. A lot of people, I think, maybe think that manufacturing doesn't happen anymore in the state of Illinois. But as Václav Smil, the great Canadian polymath, said, unless a country and a state and a region is manufacturing something, it is impossible for that economy to grow. Most of the manufacturing we see in our state happens outside in the fields, and you've seen a lot of manufacturing and production going on right now. But equally important are all of the manufacturing plants and organizations and innovative processes that go on in our community. And Carl Sandburg is crucial to both the partnership with those partners to make sure that we know what they want. And so we work in close collaboration with our advisory groups to make sure that we know what are the best new methods, what are the changing tides that are happening in our manufacturing industry, and what are the ways that we can better prepare our students to move forward. And while manufacturing has a long history of innovation in terms of development of the workforce, including apprenticeship programs which have been around for hundreds of years, and a very well designed personal individual manufacturing collectives and different industries which have their own standards. The bottom line is, in this country, community colleges represent the greatest single chance for manufacturing to continue and grow. Just to give you a sense of what the impact of community colleges, this is the most recent magazine from the American Association of Community Colleges. Coding boot camps account for 18,000 people a year. Workforce system training, where individual workforce systems train, account for 209,000 people trained a year. Civilian apprenticeships account for 523,000 people who are trained a year, and community colleges make up 10.5 million. So community colleges represent the greatest opportunity for our manufacturers to scale in the workforce. And as we continue to look to the future and look for ways in which we can continue to iterate and grow and design new programs, new ways of working with our manufacturers, new ways of working with incumbent workers, new ways of growing the manufacturing workforce in the future, it's a very exciting time. And I want to say one other thing, and that is the relationship of our students and the work that our faculty do to make sure our students are energized by it. The greatest flaw, in my opinion, about what has happened in the last 20 or 30 years is that young people have not had access to what is happening in our workspaces. Carl Sandburg offers an opportunity both in terms of working with our faculty and staff who have experience in the workforce, as well as working closely with our advisory groups to make sure that young people are getting that experience. But more than that, we need to create more opportunities for actual transition from the learning classroom to the workspace. And we're looking at ways in which we can innovate in that area as well. Equally important is an understanding that as we continue, more and more people are looking at a career change. And we have to make sure that as we are supporting our incoming workforce, we're also supporting our incumbent workers and also support those who are looking to make a career change. So Carl Sandburg stands ready to make sure that we continue to work with that in partnership with some of our phenomenal employers and secondary education system folks who are represented here today. And in particular, paying attention to what our leading industry guide is in the state, and that's the Illinois Manufacturing Association. And with that, I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to especially thank Sarah Hartwick, the Vice President for Illinois Manufacturing Association, and then welcome her to the podium to make a few remarks. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you all for having me today. Like it was said, my name is Sarah Hartwick, and I serve as the VP of Education and Workforce Policy at the Illinois Manufacturers Association. Manufacturing Month is October, as you guys all know, and it's a chance for us to celebrate and highlight the manufacturing industry's many contributions to our state and our nation, and particularly the region of Carl Sandburg. Manufacturers power homes. They ensure our store shelves are stocked with food, and they created life-saving treatments during the pandemic and stayed open to make sure that needed supplies were produced. And I don't know if you know this, but statewide, the manufacturing industry generates more than $304 billion in economic output. And that contributes over 12% of the state's gross domestic product, which is the largest of any industry in Illinois. Manufacturers in Illinois today employ over 550,000 women and men who make an average salary of over $88,000 a year with benefits that provide over $52 billion in wages and benefits for our state. You know, Manufacturing Month for the Illinois Manufacturers Association is also a time for us to take stock of the challenges that is facing the industry and to get creative about how to solve for those challenges. For manufacturers, we hear time and time again that the biggest challenge is finding qualified workers, and so we're so thankful and appreciative of those who are studying manufacturing careers and exploring opportunities like you in the room today. There are currently 800,000 open manufacturing jobs nationwide, and in the next decade, that number is going to grow as women and men begin to retire as part of the baby boomer generation. If we don't fill those jobs, the employers can't expand operations to meet the increased demand that stifles growth and, as Ellen said, ultimately hurts the communities and hinders the economies that the manufacturing industry supports. And that's why the IMA is so involved in trying to encourage and participate in career exploration, working with our amazing community college partners like Carl Sandburg, and ensuring that the programs are meeting the needs of the employers, connecting with the regional networks to ensure that the workforce that is being created meets the needs of the employers in the region. We are on behalf of the Manufacturers Association, we're traveling the state right now to learn about those workforce challenges and find some of those solutions. And we're working with community partners, institutions of higher education, and of course employers to have those discussions. You know, we really want to build excitement among the newest generation about careers in manufacturing. And as you know, the focus has really been in the past on pursuing four-year degrees, which that is the right path for some, but not necessarily a good fit for others. And it is our job at the IMA to make sure that people know that manufacturing can fill the current skills gap and offer high-paying jobs with good benefits in an exciting career field, and not necessarily mean you have to have a four-year degree. I know you guys in the room all know this, but manufacturing is not the dark, dirty, dangerous work of the past that so many envision. It's high-tech, it's increasingly needs higher technical skills, it's clean, it's diverse, it's sustainable, and that's really what we want to work on teaching and encouraging career exploration as early as possible. So I want to thank you all for including us today and continuing to be such amazing partners with the Illinois Manufacturers Association, and thank you to the students and your excitement about this really cool career field, and appreciate all the work that you guys have done. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for welcoming me to the Carl Sandburg College campus. I've been here many times, and I'm always impressed with the beauty, professionalism, and welcoming nature of this campus and now this facility. On behalf of my colleague Salvador Garza, who heads the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Regional Office here in Galesburg, covering the Carl Sandburg College District, I would like to present this proclamation to Carl Sandburg College from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker in high recognition and sincere appreciation for Carl Sandburg College being a leader in manufacturing and technology education. Keep up the great work. The Governor thanks you from his heart.
Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you all for coming. I encourage you after the formal presentation closes to mingle, visit with someone you do not know, introduce yourself. If you're a student, tell a little about your career path and your goals. Show a little bit about what you've been working on in the shop. If you have projects to show our guests, I appreciate you showing them your work. Those who are guests, feel free to mingle about to our shop areas, step into our classrooms, and then spread the great word of all of the things happening at Carl Sandburg College and the opportunities for students in manufacturing. Our doors are open, and we would love to have more wonderful students just like the ones you see here today in our programs. Once again, thank you for your time, and we are glad you were able to make it.